In today's Adobe Illustrator tutorial, you will learn how to duplicate and rotate objects with Rotate tool. First you will see useful tips on Pen tool and Width tool to create petals, and then you will see how to quickly create unique flowers design using Rotate tool. After this tutorial, you'll be able to use Pen tool much better and will understand how to easily rotate objects and duplicate them in different ways. You're watching TNT tutorials. Let's move on and create a new document. Select Print, A4, Horizontal Orientation. In Advanced Options select RGB and click on Create. You can download these references and colors by the link in the video description. Just create layers for them and place them like so. Let's start with creating new layer. Let's rename it to Background. I for Eyedropper tool. Pick this color. M for Rectangle tool. And draw a rectangle like this. Now lock this layer. Create new layer. I will rename it to number 1. I will pick colors from references. You can do the same. I for Eyedropper tool. Let's pick this color. P for Pen tool. Let's create point here and drag handles like this. Then click here to create another point. And you don't need to drag handles like this to create this line. You can drag handles like so and hold Shift also to build straight line. Then hold Alt and move this handle like so. Release Alt, hold Alt again and drag handle from this point. You can hold Shift also to build straight line again. Then click here to create new point and connect final points. After you've created this shape, A for Direct Selection tool, and now you can manipulate these points and handles to design this shape and get needed result. You can drag handle like so. Now click somewhere on the workspace to deselect this object. V for Selection tool. Select this object again. O for Reflect tool. Hold Alt and click on some of these points. Preview and click on Copy. Now V for Selection tool. Select both objects. Properties. Pathfinder. Unite. You can edit this object like this. Just pick any point you want and use direction buttons on your keyboard. I will click 3 times to the right. I will select this point and click 3 times on the left. I for Eyedropper tool. Let's pick this yellow color. L for Ellipse tool. Ctrl-C, Ctrl-F. V for Selection tool. Let's make this one smaller. I for Eyedropper tool. Pick this color. Ctrl-C, Ctrl-F again. Make copied layer smaller. And pick this color. Now to have better control on these shapes, let's group them, select them all, and press Ctrl-G. As you can see, we've created a group with 3 objects in it. Let's create another ellipse here, make a copy, make it smaller, and let's pick blue color for this one. If you don't want to accidentally move some of these references, just lock this layer, and now you can't move them. Select these objects, Ctrl-G to group. Let's place them here. You can make them smaller. Play with proportions. Now you don't need to hold Alt and duplicate this object like this, because you want to place this object here correctly. You want it appear on the right side, just the same as it appears on the left. So let's delete this one. Select this object, O for Reflect tool, hold Alt, and click on some of central points, on this one. Then click on Copy. Now let's select all these objects, Ctrl-G to group. Let's bring this one here. Right-click, Arrange, Bring to front. If you want these points to match this shape, just use Direct Selection tool and with Shift, move them like this. Let's do the same here. Now let's use these values. Right now we will use this first value. Select this object, press R for Rotate tool, hold Alt, and click on Central Point. We need central point of this ellipse. What options do you have here? With Preview selected, you can rotate this object like this. If you don't want to move this object around central point, you can press R for Rotate tool, hold Alt, click anywhere you want on any needed point. I will click here for now. And as you can see, this object rotates around this point. So this is how Rotate tool works. Let's click on Cancel, hold Alt, and click on central point of this ellipse. Now we need to make 4 copies here, and in total we should have 5 petals. So you don't need to count any angles, because sometimes you might want to customly rotate object like this. Then click on Copy, and then if you will need to duplicate this object, you can simply press Ctrl plus D as many times as you need. But we don't need any custom rotation here. We need to know exactly that all objects will be rotated properly. So R for Rotate tool, hold Alt, click on central point of this ellipse, and now enter these values. 360 divide to 5. Now click on Copy, and then press Ctrl plus D. When you're using this formula, you can be sure that all objects will be placed correctly. Now you can select all these objects, deselect this one, press Ctrl G to group, and make them smaller, for example, like this. I will increase size just a bit. Now let's create these circles all around this one. I will make this one smaller, like so. I for Eyedropper tool. Let's pick this blue color. L for Ellipse tool. Create ellipse like this. Ctrl C, Ctrl F. Let's pick this yellow color. Make this one smaller. Let's group these ones. Let's place them here. And you should be sure that this ellipse is aligned with this one. You can place it anywhere you want. Let's place it here, for example. With this ellipses selected, R for Rotate tool. Let's click on this central point. And now you can use any value you want. You can try different combinations, but first let's enter 360, divide, and then enter any value you want. You can experiment with values. Let's enter 20 here, and see what we will have. Click on Copy. If you don't like this distance, you can simply press Ctrl Z, then hold Alt, click on central point again, and try another value. Let's enter 360, divide to 12. Let's click on Copy. I will leave this distance, and now press Ctrl plus D as many times as you need to finish this circle. I've created 2 big objects here, so I will press Ctrl Z, make this one smaller, like so. I will place it here, and I will rotate it just as we did. 360, divide to 12. Click on Copy. And I will leave this result. Let's select this object and press Ctrl G to group. Let's continue. Create new layer. Rename it to number 2. I for Eyedropper tool. Let's pick this color. P for Pen tool. Let's create point here and hold Shift to build straight line. Now create another point here. Illustrator will help you to align these 2 points. Just drag these handles like so. Then hold Alt and move this handle like this. Then connect final points. A for direct selection tool, and you can move this handle like so. I will play with these proportions just a bit, and I will move this point down. Let's deselect this object, V for selection tool, select it again, O for reflect tool, hold Alt, click on this point, and click on copy. Then select these two objects, properties, and in Pathfinder, click on unite again. Now you can change proportions like so. I for eyedropper tool, let's pick this color. And now you don't need to create this shape with pen tool. All you need to do is click here to swap fill and stroke, P for pen tool. Let's just draw line here, like this. To stop drawing line, you can press V for selection tool, or you can hold Ctrl and click somewhere on the workspace. In this case, this line will be automatically deselected. So with this line selected, let's change stroke width, then click on stroke, and change profile to width profile 1. Now you can play with stroke width, and if you want to change proportions of this stroke, object, expand appearance. No, this is not line anymore, this is an object. With direct selection tool you can manipulate these points, and if you think that you have too many points, because you might want to move this point, and these points are not allowing you to make needed changes. In this case, A for direct selection tool to view all these points, object, path, simplify. Click on preview, and you can click here to show original. You can see how many points did you have before simplifying. You can play with these values, because you might want to leave these two central points. So let's leave them. Click OK. Now we have only 4 points here. You can pick this one, move it to the right, pick this one and move it to the left. I'll change these proportions just a bit, like so. Now L for ellipse tool. Let's draw ellipse. Ctrl-C, Ctrl-F. Pick this color. Make this ellipse smaller. Let's group them. Let's group these objects also. Let's bring this object here. You should also notice that you don't need to place this object right here. You can place it even here. Select it, R for reflect tool, pick any point. Let's pick this central point of this ellipse, and then you can rotate it as you want. Let's enter 360, divide to 8. Copy, and you can press Ctrl D. Let's press Ctrl Z here, move this object right here, and rotate it like this. Let's group this one. If you have grouped object and you want to change something, you can ungroup it. Pick this object, for example, make it bigger. Or you can double-click on group, and it will be isolated from all other objects. And now you can pick groups inside of this group. If you want to edit this group, you can double-click on it, and then simply double-click somewhere on the workspace to exit isolation mode. Let's continue. Create another layer, number 3. I for eyedropper tool, let's pick this color. P for pen tool. What you should notice is to build such shapes, you don't need many points. You basically need only 2 points. Let me show you this. Let's create 1 point here. You might create it any way you want. And let's create another point here. Hold Alt, move this handle, then hold Alt, and connect these points. A for direct selection tool, pick this point, and move handles like so. You can experiment with this shape. It's very easy, because you don't have unnecessary points, you have only needed handles, and you can create very smooth lines very quickly. I think I will leave this result. Now select this object with Selection tool, Properties, and let's click here Offset Path. Click on Preview, and let's enter -3 for example. I think I will use -2. Click OK, and now for this object, let's pick this color. Let's group them. Pick this yellow color, L for Ellipse tool, draw ellipse, Ctrl+C, Ctrl+F, make copied layer smaller, pick this color, group these ellipses, place this one as you want, R for Rotate tool, hold Alt, and click on central point of this ellipse. Let's enter 360, divide to 7. Click on Copy, and press Ctrl+D. Alright, let's group these layers, and continue with another flower. Let's create new layer and rename it to number 4. Now to create such petals, we will also simply use stroke. Let's pick this color, click here to swap fill and stroke, P for pen tool, just draw a line like this, V for selection tool, press Shift plus W for width tool, then just click here and drag it like so. Now you can click here and make this object thinner in this point. I think you get the main idea that you can experiment with this tool. You can return to edited points and change them, like so. You can change object even more, like so. That means that you don't need to draw this shape with pen tool, simply create line and play with width tool. You can get a lot of combinations. Like this. I'll press Ctrl+Z. Now V for selection tool, object, expand appearance. Now we can't use width tool, because this is not line anymore, this is an object. We have some problem here. Let's press Ctrl+Z, Properties, Stroke, and you can click here to round cap. Now you have smooth corner here. But in case if you need sharp corner here, you should select this object. Let me show you this object better. Stroke, and change profile to Width Profile 1. And now you can press Shift plus W for Width tool and edit this shape. You can move this line with Width tool, like this. I think this line is too thin here, so I will make it wider, just a bit. Now Object, Expand Appearance. Let's pick this color, P for Pen tool. Click here to swap fill and stroke. Let's create line, stroke, width profile 1. Let's change stroke width. I will expand it also. Now let's press L for ellipse tool. Create ellipse. Ctrl+C, Ctrl+F. Pick this color. Make copied layer smaller. Copy it again. Then pick this color. And let's group these objects. Let's group these ones also. Let's place it here. R for rotate tool, hold Alt, click on central point, and let's enter 360, divide to 10. Click on copy and press Ctrl+D. Let's select these ones, deselect these objects, and make petals smaller, like so. Let's group these layers. Deselect them and create new layer. I will rename it to number 5. Let's pick this color, P for pen tool, Let's draw a shape like this. Hold Alt, move this handle here, and connect these points. A for direct selection tool, and play with handles. I think I will apply these proportions. Let's deselect this object, select it again, O for Reflect tool, hold Alt, click on this point, copy, select this object, and unite them. Now let's pick this color, swap fill and stroke, P for Pen tool, let's draw a line here, stroke, change width profile to width profile 1, and let's change stroke width. Object, expand appearance. Now let's pick this color, L for Ellipse tool, and let's draw an ellipse like this. Illustrator will help you to align it. Make a copy like so, and press Ctrl D. Let's pick this one, and make it a little bit bigger. Now let's group all these objects. Let's pick this yellow color, L for Ellipse tool, build ellipse like so, make a copy, let's group these ellipses, place them here, select this object, R for Rotate tool, hold Alt, click on this point, and let's enter 360, divide to 8, copy, and let's press Ctrl D. Let's select all these objects, deselect these ellipses, press Ctrl G. To copy object from group, A for direct selection tool, pick needed object, Ctrl C, Ctrl Shift V. You can see that we have a copy outside of group, so with this copied layer, let's pick this color, and now we need to rotate this object in this way. We just know that we have 8 objects here, and to rotate this object, we need to create 16 copies, and then we will delete unneeded layers and get needed result. Let me show you this. R for Rotate tool, hold Alt, click on this point, 360, divide to 16, copy, and simply press Ctrl D. V for Selection tool, and now let's simply delete each second layer. Like so. Then let's pick all these layers, Ctrl G to group, let's bring them down, and make them smaller. Like so. As you can see, in such cases, you might want to experiment with shapes, with proportions, but now you know how to use Rotate tool, and it will be a matter of few seconds to experiment with all shapes. In conclusion, I would say that to use Rotate tool properly, you only should keep in mind tips from this video. There's nothing hard, and if you have situation when you need to move or duplicate objects around some point, it is the right time for Rotate tool. If you learned something new from this tutorial, drop a comment below, let me know if everything was clear enough for you and what you liked about this video. If you enjoyed this tutorial, support this channel by clicking on subscribe, and what's most important, by clicking on the bell icon to get notifications about newest tutorials from TNT. I would also appreciate if you'll click thumbs up and will share this video. This was TNT Tutorials, see you in next videos!